Alright, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today's motovlog is going to be about, what's it going to be about? I know I've already done this, but writing stuff down. I'm really bad at remembering things, and God, this thing is like bugging the hell out of me. I don't know what this part is or what it does, but all it does is rattle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this literally does nothing for me. It just spins and rattles. But anyways, back to the vlog. Writing stuff down. I'm super bad at remembering things. Like, if I don't write it down, I'm never gonna remember it unless it's like life and death. Like sometimes I even forget, you know. Oh man, I don't even know. For example, I have so many examples, but I forget to pay my bills on time, or I pay them like a month in advance, or I pay them twice, or I make 2 credit card payments or stuff like that, just because like I can't remember or not if I've done it. And like sometimes it's to the point where I'll send it in on like a Saturday or something like that, or Friday on my pay period, my payday, and then I'll forget, and then I'll pay it again online on Saturday. So because it doesn't post, you know, of course you guys are probably saying like you should be able to check, you know, if you sent your bill in, but you know, I pay them sometimes twice back to back, or I make a credit card payment or something like that. I do it all electronically, of course, which makes it easy to mess up, but I always forget whether or not I've done it. I understand that I have to do it, but I never know, like, if I've done it or not, or how many times I've done it. And it even goes back to, like writing things down, like paying my registration for my car right now. Like, I thought I had 3 more days in order to register my car and insure it, but I actually have until tomorrow to do it, which sucks because I actually have to work, so I have to do it today, and now I'm in a hurry. And of course that could have all been avoided if I just wrote it down. And even if you're not a big fan of writing things down, you know, just live your life in a way that you can remember things. And remembering things, that's what the vlog will be about, remembering things. In order for me to remember things, there has to be 2 things that happen. One, either something very significant. Whoa, what is that? Oh, that's Mercedes, that weird noise. Couple things have to happen. One, either something significant has to be happening to me while I'm remembering something, and then I tie that memory to that action. So, for example, if you know, if I'm on my way to work and I see a car crash and I'm like, oh shoot, I have to pay my insurance. Like, that's something that I'll remember. Or the other way that I remember things is if I write it down. And writing things down for me has been my way of doing things for a long time. Dang it, do I want to wait in this mess? No. Writing things down has kind of been my way of doing things since I was in college, you know? It's worked out for me. All the times that I've stuck to it and I've said, hey, I'm going to write things down and do it, and actually, you know, have a set way of doing things, I've always been super productive. Whether it's just having a little piece of cardstock and putting it in my back pocket like I used to do in college, or now where I carry around a little notebook that's leather bound, and you know, I carry around a specific pen and stuff like that to write in it. Whatever it may be, you know, that's how I retain things. As long as I have a list and I put it in my pocket, like, dude, I'm gonna remember to do that thing. And it might seem really dumb, but having things visually in front of you and like, okay, this is what I have to do, having a checklist and checking things off will make you a more productive person. I know it sounds really dumb, but there are people all over the internet, all over Reddit, all over like these self-help places where they say, hey, making a checklist and being able to visually see progress is probably one of the most effective ways to be a more successful person. And they say you should write down every single little thing on there from day to day. And I think that's a little bit too extreme, but hey, you know, more power to you. They say you should have a couple of columns. You should have 3 columns. Things that you can do very easily in a day, things that you can do very, you know, easily or kind of mildly difficult in a week, and things that are like really big goals for you over the long term. If you write those things down and you say how much time they're going to take, if you like just jot that down right next to the task, and you just look at it and say, oh man, I have 15 minutes to do this thing, I have 30 minutes to do this, like, and you just do it, and right when you finish doing it, you just put a line through it, you'll say, man, okay, if I did that thing, I can do the next thing, and I can do the next thing, and I can do the next thing. And then all of a sudden, you have this checklist that's almost completely done, and all you have to do that's left over is the really hard stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but there are days in my life where I feel like, man, today was a real waste of my time. But in actuality, I was just so busy doing stuff that I didn't realize, like, exactly what I got done, how productive I was during that day. And those are really the hard days for me because I worked hard and I felt really exhausted, but at the end of the day, I couldn't remember what I had done. And this kind of goes into a different part of, you know, kind of tricking yourself into being more productive. And that's, even if you have your standard to-do list, write down extra things that you did on your check. Look at this wobble that I'm getting right now. Do you see this? But man, I don't even know. That's new. Writing down a checklist of everything is great, but also writing down all the things that you did on the side, all the extra things, so you can go back in time and say, hey, I didn't actually waste my time, I was actually super productive. And it might not seem like a little thing, it might not seem like a lot, and you know, it might seem like kind of a pain for you to do, to write this little extra thing down, but it'll really help you out in terms of keeping yourself in the mindset to be productive. And your mindset is really everything, whether it's thinking you can do it, knowing you can do it, and just doing it. I know I did a motovlog on that. I'll try to see if I can find it. But those 3 things: thinking you can doing it, thinking you can do it, knowing you can do it, and doing it. But, you know, I'll probably do another one of those vlogs, probably just redo it. But those are 3 really important things, and writing things down and checking things off is a great way to accomplish all 3 of those things. And they'll make you a more productive person. They'll give you a better mindset on what you can accomplish in life, and they'll give you a better outlook on what you can accomplish in the future. And I know it sounds really, really dumb, and I know it sounds like a kind of childish thing to do, is to, you know, to make a checklist, but dude, it works. From the tiniest thing to the biggest thing. Whether it's you want to find a new job, or you got to remember to fold your laundry when you get home from work. Like, making a list can really, really help you out, and it can really help you to avoid some really bad situations. And speaking of avoiding bad situations, this is a situation that some people find themselves a lot in, when I don't know if I'm just unlucky or people are just flakes with me, but they say, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and do that thing for you, and I call them, I double check, you know, hey, have you done that thing for me? Oh man, I totally forgot. Or worse yet, they're like, oh yeah, I'll do it for you, I'll have it to you on this day, and then sure enough, that day rolls around, and what do you know, they didn't pull through. And if you have something to do for that person, or they have something to do for you, like if somebody else is relying on you, it's not just you or your family or something like that. If it's somebody else outside of your circle, then you should really put in the effort to make sure you take care of them. And if it's writing down the details, then write it down. Like if it's saying, hey, do B and C before you do A, then hey, you better do B and C before you do A instead of going A, B, C, because that's the way the person wanted it to be done, or that's the way that your boss wanted it to be done. That's the kind of thing that I was thinking of in my head. Like, oh, I have another story, but I don't really have time to tell it. But you know, whether it's the details or just the stuff that you need to accomplish throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout your life, write it down so you can see it every day, so you can visualize it, and then you can have that feeling of success when you finally get to cross it off. And like, it doesn't even take that much to make this thing a habit. It doesn't take a crazy amount of modification to your current behavior to be a vastly more successful person. And all it takes is just writing things down. And like, it helps me remember, and I'm sure if it helps somebody as klutzy as me and as forgetful as me, it'll help you out too. And even if it doesn't help you out as much as it helps me out, it'll still help you out a little bit, because I know the human tendency is just to forget things. And you know, it feels bad when you forget things, and it feels bad when you miss a deadline. It feels bad when you let somebody down. And I don't want that to happen to you guys, and I don't want it to, you know, be a habit for you to forget things, because those bad habits are the ones that you need to get rid of the quickest. And doing something as simple as writing things down is probably one of the fastest ways to be a better person and to be more productive and to accomplishing your goals. And honestly, it's just an easy thing to do. But I don't know, like, I probably won't roll in my list of things to do just because it's kind of crazy, but maybe I will. I'll go ahead and use it as my thumbnail, or, you know, post a link to something that, you know, something that, you know, is really informative on how to write things down and how to make better checklists, this, that, and the other thing. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and until next time, peace out.